how to achieve the 1990s fall fashion aesthetic.
Here's a news flash of the hottest trends making the scene this season. Long is the length making the most headlines. Borrow from him for her with masculine pant options. The sexiest way to be one of the boys. And wild things are on the prowl. Beware of faux furs and animal prints. But knit it for comfort day to night. Modern dressing for the 90s. It's the latest way to be part of the scene. The American approach to style. It's sporty, casual, and always eclectic. Americans pioneered the idea of easy mix-and-match dressing. And today, that street-smart influence is making its way into high fashion circles. So here's a peek at what some of America's hottest young design talents are showing for fall.
Look no further than Calvin Klein to create a simple, sleek, and casual silhouette for fall.
Calvin Klein elevates American sportswear to a new level of high style. Klein does double duty when it comes to all-American chic. Nobody creates understated sophistication like Calvin Klein. For fall, Klein's layering was pure and strong. If you're looking for color, don't look to Calvin, whose muted palette stands out. Yet it's his construction that demands attention. Calvin believes in long. His narrow skirt is the most successful length in New York. Accessories are a new focus for Calvin this season, and a dash of leopard is wild. But it's his 2 layers of coats that have double impact. It's the 40s revisited, with Klein's square shoulders and long, lean line. At night, the simplest scoop of a dress is impeccable. Softly tailored pantsuits are pure platinum. But no Klein collection would be complete without a beaded stunner. The sleek sophistication of American master Calvin Klein.
Now let's visit Donna Karan's signature style for fall.
Without reinventing the wheel, Karen draws upon past winners to create the right ingredients for fall.
It's young, it's sexy, it's masculine, it's feminine, it's about street, it's a contrast for where we've been, it's about items.
And from the most basic items, Donna builds her look.
not about me saying, this is how you have to look. It's an opportunity to have whatever you want to have, however you want to wear it. You know, it's more mix and match. And they're really my kind of clothes.
Donna's clothes are about feeling and looking good. Her new long skirts are among the season's best, most wearable grazing below the knee.
For me, it's about having fun with clothes. Have a sense of humor about clothes. Don't take them so seriously. If you want to feel vampy, feel vampy. If you want to have your non-smoking pins and parts of the body. I felt that it was time to have a sense of humor about clothes a little bit.
But her menswear looks are serious business.
People were taking masculine to its extreme and making women look like men. And I think it's about having fun with clothes, enjoying them a little bit, having, you know, a spirit about what clothes are about. We're young, and why get so old so quickly? Have a sense of humor.
This season, Donna gives a cold shoulder to seriousness with sexy cutout blouses. And the white shirt casually teams with the tuxedo at night. From 7th Avenue diva, Donna Karen.
To achieve the 90s fall look, opt for clean, tailored lines. Nothing overly tight or overly loose. Embrace the changing seasons and go for warmer tones. Long-sleeved bodysuits in warmer materials like cotton, wool, or cashmere make the perfect staple to layer, depending on the weather. For a business casual look, the brands to emulate are Ralph Lauren, Michael Kors, Jill Sanders, Donna Karan, and Calvin Klein. But now let's take a look at something more flamboyant for event wear, evening wear, or simply the ultra-stylish woman.
Italian designer Gianfranco Ferré conquers French style. It's a winning look that blends Dior refinement and Ferré skill. Femininity is the key to this quietly elegant collection, one of the best in Paris. Every Dior collection oozes luxury. No one creates chic sportswear like Ferré. Sumptuous shearlings and suede have sporty richness. But Gianfranco's banker pinstripes are the best investment. Ferré is at his finest when he keeps it simple. Black on black is a theme he takes into the night with his embroideries as well.
The embroideries, they were just a joke, because they were not real embroidery, just machine embroideries, quilted fabrics, and over you had something like buckles, something like pieces like that, to figure a new way to decorate. It's real fashion made of pieces to be invested in.
And Ferré goes for Baroque with quilted velvet and satin. modern elegance from Gianfranco Ferré for Christian Dior.
The most important thing in the fashion of the 90s are the fabrics, because this kind of look, the tight sleeves, no shoulders, the long skirts were tight, you can stand walk and so, you couldn't do them even 4 or 5 years from here. Huh? The 90s real fashion change are the materials. The long silhouette, not long in the sense of skirt length, but elongated length. In fact, that's the story. Huh? I think the women, the girls look very tall. No? And you see, the heels were not even that high. They had not those high shoes they had at Chanel. They had much lower shoes, but I think they still looked huge, no? And slim. And that's what everybody wants today. No? You put on tights, and then you put on a transparent skirt, long skirt over it. You have the new proportion, but not the old dowdy look. Jackets for me are the most important items for KL. They are very opposite to the Chanel jacket because it's another style, and I love to work on them that they fit the body and that they are like sculptures in a way. You remove them, they still have the shape, but they are not stiff at all. There's nothing inside. It's all on cut. But you know, some of those jackets have something like 40 to 50 pieces to put it over the body, and there's nothing in there. They are soft like a handkerchief.
German-born designer Karl Lagerfeld is a Paris player on a winning team. No one competes with Karl for creating the best headline makers. Lagerfeld's jackets are precision-built, gliding confidently over slim trousers and calf-length skirts. Colorful tights add contrast. At night, layers of iridescent chiffon strike the simplest note. Long on style, Paris's #1 player, Karl Lagerfeld. Designer Vivian Westwood's influence is global. Each fashion season, the world looks to Westwood for inspiration. And for fall, Vivian takes a little inspiration of her own.
It was called Always on Camera, for people who like to pose. A couple of seasons ago, I started for the first time to be interested in 20th century couture, especially Dior, who is just such a genius, because it's control, but with all this anarchy inside, really, really technique. And so I started to be influenced by this, and I found that my clothes started to look like Hollywood because those managers of those stars, they exaggerated the French couture, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a sort of parody. And then I'm always very keen to do prints to sort of make a theme. And so I took this face of Marlene Dietrich, who's perhaps the best diva ever. I think that the people who want to cut a fashion figure, to be avant-garde about fashion, have to react against this terrible jogging and all these casual things if they want to look special, if they want to cause a riot. My job, I'm restricted by two things. One is cloth, and the other thing is the human body. And my job is to make the cloth give expression to the body. And of course, the more things you can find technically, the more things you can do.
And whatever Vivian does, she does perfectly, remaining fashion's ideas mogul. Westwood even brings movie star glamour to trousers and jackets, impeccably tailored. fun fake furs are just wild. A world of creative talent from Great Britain's Vivian Westwood.
Sometimes you think something is exciting and sometimes you miss, but your percentages have to be good. So I've been doing this for close to 30 years and my percentages are pretty good.
Ralph Lauren is the quintessentially classic 90s brand to look chic, elegant, cool, and sophisticated.
My dad sort of sees things, you know, he sees things that are beautiful, sees things that are missing, and he tries to fill a void.
I know where the mood is, I know where the country is, I sense what I like, what I think my wife should be wearing, and I try to do it as well and as glamorous and try to make whatever we call Hollywood more glamorous than it really is. And so I think what I did was really Hollywood, the way I would imagine it to be, not the way it is.
To truly emulate the 90s style, go for quality over quantity. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend a lot of money. It just means finding pieces that are extraordinary. You could find real 90s vintage pieces at thrift stores, at antique shops, vintage stores, garage sales, and even estate sales. And don't forget to look online, because you could pick up these pieces there too. But to achieve the 90s look, you don't need to have pieces strictly from that decade. It's more about finding new pieces that have the timeless look to them. And therefore, as stated before, the emphasis on quality is essential. The 1990s was truly a time when fashion flourished. Silhouettes were clean, long, beautiful, and tailored. There was an emphasis on glamour, femininity, and balance. Designers attempted to make new looks out of original classic staples, and they achieved this by adding unexpected touches and flair to these garments, modernizing them for the last part of the 20th century. Let me know in the comments down below which decade of 20th century fashion is your favorite and why, and which brand from the 1990s is also your favorite. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. And I'll be sure to see you in the next one.